Okay, here's part two, and this is from our actual tournament. Now, if you look at the leaderboard that I send out every week, under handicap, you're going to see a couple of numbers. Now, if you look at mine, 16.3, that's my index. That's what my handicap index overall from all my scores is. 14 is what my handicap is that day that we're playing based on what tees we're playing from. So this is based on the yellow tee. If we're playing from the white tees, this would be higher. The blue tees, it's higher. The red tees, it's lower. So depending on what tees you play from is, what your handicap would be that day. Okay. Now over to the left here, if you see when I send this out, your actual score that you got, and then I'm putting in what your adjusted gin score should be. So if you're not sure how to do this when we're done, just wait till I send this to you, and you'll be able to um, just take a look at these numbers, and that's what you're going to put in your gin system. Okay, but this is going to be real simple. Let me explain it to you now. Um, let's take an actual card here. Okay, from one of our rounds. Now looking at me now. I 14 handy had a 14 handicap that day. So that means on the men's handicap, this is right here, this is the ranking of the holes, 1 being the hardest, 18 being the easiest. So I get one stroke on 14 holes. So I put a dot on anything on 1 through 14. And like 6, 15, 16, 17, and 18 don't have a dot. So there's no stroke on those holes. Um, Now I had a mixed bag here, which is a good example. The front nine, I shot a 40, so that I didn't have any triple bogeys. So, that's the score that gets put in. Um, on the back nine, though, the wheels came off. So for example, on 15, I shot a 7 on a par 4. Okay. Now, net double bogey means you get double bogey plus one stroke on a handicap hole, which is 3 strokes. So on a handicap hole, the maximum I can get is double bogey plus 1, which would be a 7. On a non-handicap hole like this one, it's double bogey. I don't get a stroke, so I would have to put a 6 for that. If you go over to the 13th hole, which is the 5th hardest hole, this was the 11th hole, not the 15th hardest hole. If you go over to the 13th hole, which is the 5th hardest hole, I got a stroke because it's 1 through 14. And so I shot an 8 on a par 5. So double bogey plus 1. So I got to put an 8 in for that. So I just leave the score alone. All right. Anytime I get a triple bogey, and that's how I do it. So over here, I don't get a stroke. So I put in a 6 double bogey. Net double bogey over here, I get double bogey plus 1 stroke. So I put in an 8 over here. Okay. And so I only get, in this round, I got a triple bogey here, but I got 1 stroke. So I get double bogey plus 1 stroke. So I have to put an 8 in over here. So I put an 8 in there, I put an 8 in here, and over here I put a 6. So I only take 1 stroke off my score of 93. So I would put a 92 into the gin system. Now, to make this really simple, if you are a handicap of 18 or higher, and I'll send out the handicaps to you every week if you like, by email, but on Friday night. But if you are 18 or higher, all you have to do is put in your actual score, because we are picking up at triple bogey. So you're going to get maximum triple bogey on every any hole that you get a triple bogey on. You're not going to get anything lower. Um, if we weren't using and picking up a triple bogey, and let's say you shot a 10 on a par 5, and you get 1 stroke, that means you would get a double bogey, 7 plus 1 is 8. You would put an 8 instead of a 10 for that hole into the gin system. But we're picking up at 7. So since we're picking up at 7, and it's important that we pick up at 7 because, we have to move along. We can't hold up the groups behind us. Otherwise, these courses aren't going to like us much and give us tee times. But by moving it along, because we got a lot of guys playing, we pick up a triple bogey. So if your handicap is 18 and above, all you have to do is put in your actual score. You don't have to worry about any of this until you get your handicap down below 18. If your handicap is a 17, that means you would keep the scores of triple bogeys the same on the first 17 holes. And number 18, which the 18th handicap right here is the 7th hole. That's the easiest hole. You would not get a stroke on that. So the maximum you can score, this is a par 3, the maximum you can score on there is a 5. Okay? So, we would put a 6 on there for tournament purposes, but for gin purposes, it would be a 5. So you would take 1 stroke off. So it's as simple as that. If anybody has any questions, give me a call and ask me. We will explain it to you. I will do it for you if you don't understand it until you do understand it. So I'll figure them out every week and send out the leaderboard like I showed you with the scores on the left side right over here, and then you can put in the score that I figure out for you. What I'd like you to do is to figure it out yourself, so I don't have to do it. But anyway, it's pretty simple since we're picking up a triple bogey, 18 handicap or higher. You put in your actual score into the gin system, which means you're going to have a higher handicap and you get more strokes. Your handicap is what it is. If it's, like Dave Rudy's, if he's a 6 handicap and we're taking a, if he got 7s, which, is rare, but sometimes he gets a 7 on a hole that he wasn't supposed to get a stroke on, which would be 12 of the holes, he was putting in a 6 when he should have put in a 7. So he's getting screwed out of an extra stroke handicap in our scoring system. If he might be an 8, that might be the difference of him winning a tournament. So to make this fair for everyone, for the low handicaps and for the high handicaps, we have to do it like this because it's the right way to do it. The reason the USGA has this is because so people can't sandbag their handicap. Like you can go out during the week and say you shot an 18 on one hole, and all of a sudden your handicap goes flying through the roof and you get more strokes the next week. Well, you're not supposed to put in that. This is a gentleman's game. We play on the honor system. So, but that's why they do it. But if everybody does it the right way, it's fair for everyone, and we can have a lot of fun playing our tournaments. And the winner will be the guy who deserves to win. It's usually the guy who shoots his personal best round, whether that's 100 or that's a 75. It's whatever is your personal best round. When I won, I shot an 84 that week. That was my best round of the year, and I won. And when Joe won, my brother, he shot 101. That was his personal best round. And so he won the tournament, which is how it's supposed to be. If you're on the PGA Tour, the guys that win each week are the guys that play the best round of their life. And so this is the same. This works out with the handicap system to be the same exact process. So I hope that helps. And again, any questions, just give me a call, but we'll keep talking about this.